Hello, Prep Career students. For today, Friday, we're going to do 3 worksheets today about budgeting, okay? So the first one is a chart, and we're going to look at a budget. And with your budgets, you make your income and your expenses. So your income is the money you're coming in, and the expenses are the money going out, and then the difference between them. And so you're trying to balance your budget so that one, you have enough money to cover all your expenses, like your bills and stuff like that. And so we're gonna go over a few things today. And so the first thing I'm gonna do is I pulled up this worksheet here. So we're gonna do this first worksheet. You're gonna have to have a copy of it. And then you should also be able to write on it and follow along with us, okay? So let me go ahead and make this a little bigger. All right, so we're gonna talk about a simple budget. So this is Emily's budget. These are the expenses that these are the amounts she's budgeted for. And then we're gonna look at the monthly budget that she budgeted for, the actual amount that was of her expenses or income, and then the difference, okay? So Emily did the following activities in the month. Fill out the budget above. Was Emily above or below budget? Did she go over her budget or was she under her budget? So over and under is what we're gonna see here. So here's her wages from her income and interest, okay? So, and then our expenses, she's got money for her taxes, her rent and her mortgage, her utilities, which are things like your water, your electric, your phone bill, those things, for groceries and food, for clothing, for shopping, for entertainment, and miscellaneous and other. And so then we have our net income. So let's go ahead and first let's add up. So we're gonna find out the total. We're gonna find out the total of her income and the total of her expenses. So let's first do that. So the first thing, we're gonna take the calculator and add 781 plus 116 equals 800. Oops, right here, $897. That's how much she budgeted for. Then we're gonna take a look at her expenses. These are the amounts that she budgeted for. So 314 plus 242 plus 81 plus 99 plus 54 plus 45 plus 36 plus 26 equals. So for her budget, she budgeted every penny of her income to go to bills. So there is $0 in differences, okay? So the first thing that we need to see is down here, it says, we're gonna see all the things she spent. So she received a phone bill for $81. So let's look for utilities, because that is a utility, $81. So here's how much she budgeted, $81, and the actual amount was $81, and the difference is 0. There's no difference there. So 81 minus 81 equals 0. The difference is to subtract. So no difference there. The next one says, she worked at the laundry and earned $817. So let's take this $817. We're going to take it to her wages and income, $817. So let's take $817 minus what she budgeted for was $781. And what's the difference? $36. So she made 36 more dollars. So plus 36 more dollars, right? So now she's already off a little bit with her budget. Okay, so she paid income tax, $279. So let's take that, go to taxes, $279. So she budgeted for $314, but her taxes were only $279. So that is 35. She has plus 35 more dollars because she was under budget there. So she has more money. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. She received interest from a savings account totaling $109. So she has $109. And so she budgeted for $116. So she has extra money there. So take $116 minus $109. The difference is $7. So she has $7. So now we can go ahead and add this up. So far for this month, she's earned $817 for her income, plus $109 for her interest, which equals $926. Okay, before she was budgeting $897. So the difference, $926 minus $897, she has plus $29. That's the difference. Okay, so now, oops. She fixed a car for $26. So if you look here, do you see anything here? I would think this would be under miscellaneous. So miscellaneous, this is where your emergency fund can come in. $26. 26 minus 26 is 0. So far, she's doing good. Okay, she saw a movie with some friends and paid $33. So here's the categories we have left: entertainment, shopping, clothing, groceries and food, rent, mortgage. Which one of those sounds like it would be a good category for saw a movie with some friends? If you said entertainment, you are correct. $33. And the difference there, 36 minus 33, $3. Okay. She purchased some new pants for $57. So let's go up here. Which category would pants be in? The ones we have left are rent, mortgage, groceries, food, clothing, shopping. So she bought some pants for $57. And if you said clothing, you are correct, $57. So let's see the difference on what she actually spent versus the amount she budgeted for. So she said that she was going to spend $54, but she spent 57 minus 54. That's $3 difference. Okay. So there's 3 things left. Dinner at a restaurant, video games, and rent. So the next one had dinner at a restaurant costing $101. She must have got steak or paid for her friends or both. So $101. So would that be rent, mortgage, groceries and food, or shopping? It would be groceries and food. So she spent $101, her entire monthly budget on going out to eat. So she spent 101, that was the actual amount, and she budgeted 99. So she is over budget by $2. Okay, so the next one, she bought some new video games for $41. So a couple of the categories we have left, rent, mortgage, or shopping. I'm going to say shopping. So $41. So she budgeted $45 for shopping and she spent 41. So that's a difference of $4. Okay. So we're going to cross that one off and then we're going to go to the last one. Paid rent for an apartment, $213. So let's go up here. Her rent this month was $213. And so we take 242 minus 213, and that is $29. So she has a difference of $29. So let's look up here. We're going to calculate. She had budgeted $897. We're going to see how much she ended up with. Okay. So 279 plus 213 plus 81 plus 101 plus 54 plus 41 plus 33 plus 26. She spent $831. And so now we're going to find out what's the difference. 897. So 897 minus 831. So she had $66 in the positive. So she had $29 from her income extra and her $66 extra. So 66 plus 29. So she ended up with $95 extra this month. And you can see this should be the same probably as this answer right here. Let's see here. So if we took, let's hope that's what it is. 926 minus 831, $95. So she was under budget. So we'll say under, which is below budget, because she has $95 left over because she got paid more than she thought. And she, although she overspent in some of these categories, her rent was under budget, her utilities was, I'm sorry, her taxes were under budget, her rent was under budget. Let's see what else. Her shopping was under budget, entertainment was under budget. She spent right on with her miscellaneous and her utilities and spent a little over, but she has $95 extra. So this is what you do is you take your budget, you take what money you have coming in and you account it, you allocate it for certain things, okay? All right, so that is that assignment. Oopsie daisy, let's go back here. Okay, so the next assignment is going to be some story problems, okay? So we're gonna go over some of these story problems. All right, so question 1. In April, Jack spent $1,045 on rent. Wait, hold on. Cut it off. Okay, he spent $1,045 on rent, $112 on food, $113 on clothing, and $214 on entertainment and miscellaneous. If Jack's budget is $1,800.64, how much was he able to save? All right, so let's see here. We are going to scoot this over here, and I'm going to use the back side of this. Or how about a new piece of paper? So here we have Jack, okay? It says that he spent $1,045 on rent. $112 on food. $113 on clothing. And $214 on miscellaneous and entertainment. Okay, so the first thing we need to do to determine if he was over or under budget or how much he was able to save is add up all of these expenses, right? So we're gonna add up all of these expenses. So $1,045 was his rent, plus $112 for food, plus $113 for clothing, plus $214 for miscellaneous. So then we have to equal that. So he spent $1,484.00 on his, what we call these expenses. Okay, on his expenses, that's how much he spent. Expenses, because this is the money he's spending. So expenses, spending, okay? And his budget was $1,864. Okay, this was his budget. So that's the money he had to budget for these things. So let's check now. So we say 1,864 minus the money he spent, 1,484. $384 equals $380. So now we have to go here in question 1 and we have to find out where's the right answer. So he was able to save $380. Okay, let's go to question 2. Question 2 is Justin. Justin spent $21 on average for each of the 3 times he went to eat at a restaurant. By eating at home, he could have saved an average of $5 a meal. How much more did Justin need to budget for eating at restaurants instead of eating at home? So Justin spent $21 times 3 for 3 meals. So we're going to look at 21 times 3 is $63, okay? So if he was eating at home, he would average $5 a meal. So this is going out to eat, and this is staying in. So we take $5, and we said 3 times 3. So $5 times 3 equals 15. So he spent $15 eating at home. So now we need to find out the difference. How much more would he need to budget, right? So now we take the $63 from him eating at home or out to eat and the $15. So if he ate out instead of eating at home, he would need to budget $48 more. You need to put $48 more into his budget so that it covered him eating out. Okay, next one, Dylan. Dylan took a trip and thought about staying at an upscale hotel for $165 a night for 4 nights. If instead Dylan stayed at a nearby motel, the price would be $87 a night. How much would Dylan save by staying at the less expensive motel? So maybe some of you guys had to worry about this for going to spring break. I know I did. So the hotel, $165 a night. For how many nights? Per night. For 4 nights. So we have to multiply 165 times 4. 165 times 4. If he stayed at the hotel for 4 nights, it would cost him $660. Now, if he looked around and he saw that the motel was $87 per night, and he stayed for 4 nights. So 87 times 4, because he was going to stay for 4 nights, was $348. So now we need to find out what is the difference. If he ended up staying at the motel instead of the hotel, how much would he be saving? So we're going to take $660 and subtract $348. Minus $348. $312. So he would have saved $312. So that's something you have to think about. when you have your own money and you're spending your own money, things are going to be different. So you're going to have to try to shop around and see which is the best bargain or the best price for things. You might not always buy name brand stuff. You might have to buy generic, you know? Okay, so question 4. So he would have $312 in savings. Okay, next one we have is Brianna. In October, Brianna spent $806 on rent. She spent $194 on food, $134 on clothing, and $83 on entertainment and miscellaneous. If Brianna's budget was $1,543, then how much was Brianna able to save? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add up her expenses. So her expenses, and then we're going to subtract it from her budgeted amount. Her budgeted amount was $1,543.00. Her expenses, so we have 806 on rent, 194 on food, 134 on clothing, and $83 on entertainment and miscellaneous. So we're going to add all of this up. Okay, we're going to see what her expenses were. So 806 plus 194 plus 134 plus 83 equals $1,217.00. That was her expenses right there. Her budgeted amount was $1,543. So now we're going to subtract that from here. So $1,217.00. $1,543 subtract $1,217.00 equals $326. So she was able to save $326. So when you have that extra money, you can put it into savings or in an emergency fund. Okay. Next, we have Chloe. Chloe normally shops at designer clothing stores. $100 and $129 was the total amount that Chloe spent on clothes for the month. If Chloe instead bought similar clothes at a discount store, the cost would have been $25. How much more did Chloe need to budget for buying the designer clothes? So she spent $129, and instead she could have spent $25 for the knockoffs or something less inexpensive. How much would she have been saving if she went the $25 route instead of $129? So we're going to subtract $129 minus 25. She could have saved $104. She could have bought 4 more outfits or something. She could have saved $104 by going the discount store route. Okay, last one of the story problems. See, you got to think about this. When you have your own money, you got to think about how you're going to spend it. Every penny counts. Every penny counts. All right, question 6. Michael spent $426 for the month, while monthly income was $601. How much money did Michael have at the end of the month? So Michael's total income, so this is Michael. His total income, what he has to spend is $601 for the month. Okay. So his total income and his expenses. So I'm guessing Michael probably still lives at home because $601 might be really, would be like 125 a month, 125 a week about. Okay, so his total expenses, so his income, that's money coming in to your, and then expenses is money going out. So his income was 601, his expenses were 426. So how much did he have left over at the end of the month? 601 minus 426 equals, he had $175 left that he's at the end of the month. But I'm going to tell you, even though you have all this money, that doesn't mean you should spend it all. It's just there. You should not spend all your money. If you can save, I would save. Okay. All right. So now let's see here. Oopsie. All right. So now we have question 7 all the way through, oops, this one's, ignore 19, I'm going to delete that. All the way through 18, what I want you to do, when we're thinking about, you know, having a budget and living on our own and moving out, we're going to have to think about, what do we want to spend our money on things, are they a need, something we have to live, or is it a want? Okay, so this first thing, question 7, this looks like some bread, food. Is food a need or a want? Something we have to have, or something that we just think is fun to have? Okay, now this next picture, it's hard to see, but this is a drum that you bang on, a bongo drum. Is this a need or a want? A need is something we have to have, and a want is something we would like to have. That would be fun to have. Question 9, a guitar. Is that a need or a want? Question 10. This is not necessarily something you can buy, but love, is that something we need or we want? That's a tricky one. Question 11, pants. Or is that a need or a want? A bicycle, is that a need or a want? A baseball and a bat, a need or a want? A teddy bear, is that a need or a want? A shirt, is that a need or a want? A television, is that a need or a want? Shoes, a need or a want? A home, a place to be home, to live, is that a need or a want? And then make sure you submit your quiz. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you're able to follow along. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, this is the last assignment of the week, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.